Hello, survivors, and welcome to the Zombicide Fans Podcast, where we discuss and review all Zombicide games. I'm Ryan.
I'm Schmedley.
And I'm James.
And today we're joined by our special guest, Jason, second edition. Again, hey, Jason, thanks again for joining us.
Great. Thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Today we'll be doing our review and discussion on Zombicide Undead or Alive Kickstarter and Expansions. If you'd like to listen to our discussion about just the Zombicide Undead or Alive core game, head on back to those episodes. Quick reminder, listeners, head on over to our website, zombicidefans.com, where there's a ton of amazing community-submitted content, custom missions, custom survivors, heroes, zombies, equipment, house rules, variants, templates, you name it, all kinds of goodies, free to use, free to sign up, and submit your custom stuff as well. You can also find links to our Discord and Facebook group on the site and in the show notes. Speaking of zombicidefans.com, the website needs your support. We've hit a capacity, SSL security issues. We've got a lot of feedback. Thank you, everybody on the Discord for chiming in, letting us know that there have been issues on the site. It's just that it's capacity. There's like capacity happening. So we're going to need some support to get the servers sort of updated there. So, I'm going to be working on that very soon, and don't really know how exactly, but you're going to find out from us how you can support the site if you like. Otherwise, I still want it primarily always to remain like free and just a community site. We're not here to make any money on it. Just if we can, I don't know, in any way support like the site so it's not always out of pocket. That would be really helpful.
So I had a question for you guys before we jump into Undead or Alive. My gaming group, we've been doing Rio de Janeiro recently after our interview with Felbaros, which is the most recently recorded one, but I think episode 1 of this came out after that. And in the campaign rules in general, you get campaign XP based on reaching orange and reaching red. And we've talked about it a bunch before, where reaching red doesn't naturally occur in a mission that often, and it normally doesn't matter. But in a campaign, it's really good if you can, because then you're further along on the track to get all that extra stuff. So the question is, at the end, how do you guys grind for red? Do you just leave and ignore it? Do you have some kind of house rule? Do you leave and say you did it? What's your...
So for me and our group, it kind of comes down to very situational things. I'm sorry, guys, if you don't want to hear this next part, spoiler warning. Some missions will end with the pull of an objective card. So it's completely out of your control. You're not going to know when that's going to happen unless you've played the campaign before and you've pulled that objective. So you can't always plan for that. But also sometimes we've had a character or two knocked down, or we feel like we've kind of gotten to a position where we're a turn or a bad zombie pull away from losing somebody. So it's just worth ending the mission then. But there are some scenarios where you can just sit there and mine for points to where you get to red. And in that situation, it's really just about where we are in the day. Is that our first mission we started in the day and we're raring to go? Then sure, maybe we'll do that. But if it's like, say, getting close to dinner time, we're like, let's be done with this because we're ready to have dinner. So it's really situational, and it's not always guaranteed that it's going to happen.
Sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Same answer as James. The only exception is if it's a campaign I'm playing with my son, he's always pushing to grind and he wants to end in red, no matter how tired everybody is. But yeah, I agree. It's usually kind of situational depending on how willing everybody is to sit and play a little bit longer to hit that mark.
Yeah, because we were considering like some house rule where if everybody's orange, or as sometimes we even still have somebody back at yellow, we can just agree we're like we all have the equipment, we could handle red spawns. Let's just start spawning red so we can all get there faster.
Right. And, the other thing about that too is if you don't play it out, then yeah, it's easy to do that. But if you play it out, it does open yourself up to something stupid happening and one of your characters getting knocked out. And if one of your characters is knocked out, they lose all their points for that mission. So they go from 2 points to 0 points. So, if that's worth it to you, honestly, with my group, it's not so much about getting CXP. It's about the equipment. everyone wants that last turn to search. Because going into the next mission, they can all remember the equipment that's on their dashboards, but they can't always remember to go back and look at their sheet and see what skill they have. Honestly, campaign skills for the most part we don't use them a lot because it's hard to remember. You're playing and it's like, it's easier to remember all the guns in front of you, but now I got to look at this other sheet to go, now, which of these guys has got lifesaver? Which of these guys has got spare parts? Which of these guys has got, whatever. Right. And so it becomes almost where like people don't even want to bother with it anymore. I mean, there's a couple of skills that are just no brainers like webbing, and a few others, but outside of that, the campaign skills aren't that important to our group.
Yeah, they're like a huge part of strategy for us because like one of our guys is playing Homelander. He starts with an attack, his superpower, but friendly fire instantly kills survivors. So he got steady hand, and we which I'm sure why wouldn't it work on laser vision? I guess.
Right.
And then another one is playing A Train. We have two of the soups, and he hold your nose works really well because he's often killing the last zombie in a zone in 3 zones in a row.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, just from my experience in playing campaigns, and I have not played with the boys in any of the campaigns I've played.
We always play with wacky characters,
with normal, quote normal campaign characters or other survivors, typically webbing, destiny, hold your nose are pretty much the 3 that are so great because 1, you're no longer wasting actions rearming. 2, you're no longer wasting, action searching if you're killing everything in your zone. And then 3, with destiny, you're basically almost always guaranteeing you're never going to get an ARG card. So that speeds up play. So those are kind of the ones that we go to.
Our first campaign, we all had pretty much the same stuff at the end. It's just this time that we started kind of diversifying. I didn't give you a chance to speak, Ryan. Sorry. Do you have any thoughts on grinding for red?
No, it's been like way too long since I've actually played a campaign because I'm always playing solo. And like what James said, so, people like you're talking about people controlling 2 survivors, like can't bother to manage their manager, people refer to their things. Like imagine doing that with 6.
Yeah.
Right? So I might try a campaign again with 4 heroes or survivors because of how y'all had encouraged me, like, when I was complaining, 2nd edition is so easy. Just play with 4 heroes. That's what we do. And it's like, oh, that's right. I'll do that. Sorry. Survivors. So yeah.
They can be heroes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not what they do.
Yeah. And literally in the case of yours with Homelander and A-Train.
A-Train, yeah.
Classified as heroes anyway. All right, cool.
They're soups. Yeah.
Soups.
I think that's what they call them.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
All right. Yeah.
Got questions? Send them in. We'll be happy to answer questions about Zombicide, the show, us, people. If you're interested in being a guest on the show, etc. We do have like a big string of Marvel Zombies like episodes to get through in the coming future. So and then after that we are still figuring out what we're going to do exactly, but yeah, that's what's next on the docket. So yeah, email us at zombicidefans@gmail.com if you'd like to send in a question for us to answer, address on the show, question, comment, whatever, or if you'd also are interested in being a guest on the show, that'd be cool. For anything that we haven't reviewed yet, like,
tell me your favorite hero in Marvel Zombies. I'm not even close to playing all of them, so I'm curious to hear what everyone thinks.
There you go.
So if you're sending us mail anyway, pin that at the end.
And it's great being a guest. You don't get college credit, but it's a good experience.
Just college try.
Right.
All right, let's talk about the news. There's so much news from our new overlords at Asmodee.
It's been a while.
And Fantasy Flight.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you are living under a rock, is that the phrase?
Yep.
You like this is like maybe we should rename, like put a stinger in, like 1 month old news, like, because that's probably when you're going to hear this. But yeah, you probably have already heard of the new fantasy Zombicide announced, Dead Men Tales. from Asmodee and Fantasy Flight Games, according to the logos. This was announced at the PAX Unplugged during FFG's live event thing. I didn't actually watch it. Jason watched it though, right?
I watched this. I fast forwarded it to just the Zombicide segment. Didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched. Yep, and it was very short. There was just they showed the trailer, which is very short but cool, and they said it was going to be a full core box. So didn't say that it was going to be a giant campaign like we've seen with Undead or Alive or anything else, but it did sound like it's going to be at least a core box.
Yeah, and maybe they'll do like a pre-order model.
Well, so there's the little trailer. Oh, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No worries. Let's check it out.
Okay. I still can't figure out how to patch audio through here.
Spooky music.
Yeah, it's not that interesting.
Fog. It is known through the 7 seas. There's a pirate flag waving in the
so menacing
fog. That dead men tell no tales.
I have heard that.
Well,
flippy floppy.
These do. Yar. Pirate jumps out at you. So it says
I like the idea that they're just gonna like talk. Yeah. That they're just gonna tell us some stories.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just it's gonna be very exciting. So it says docking into crowdfunding soon.
Fun.
Okay, so we are getting a campaign.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was funny. I saw some chatter on this on the Discord, and people were talking about what Asmodee would do differently with the campaign. And this thing's got to be. This was, listening to Fel Barros talking about how the lead time on these things. This thing was locked and loaded. They might tweak it, but I got to imagine this was whatever Simon put together and just is handing off now to Asmodee to run.
Yeah, it's got to be. Got to be.
Yeah, there's no way that.
Yeah, I mentioned before how much I like White Death being like it's compatible with fantasy, but a completely separate theme, and that they're doing it again so soon. I like a lot.
I think that's really weird that they're doing that. Just because they did just come out with White Death. I'm 100% excited about this. I just want to come out and say that. But I thought this would have been a good opportunity to get us some more Undead or Alive content. Because I think they could have set this in that rule set. I can see that too. in that area. And again, just to let us know that, hey, we're not giving up on Undead or Alive. Here's the next, thing coming for that. That would have been pretty cool.
And do we get to say, I put this in the Discord before, like, do we get to say we predicted this? Because when we were talking about, so someone in the mailbag sent us a question like, what Zombicide, other genres would you like to see? And like fantasy came up a few times. And Schmedley's like, oh my God, I hate pirates so much. They're the worst thing I've ever thought of.
Historic pirate theme hater. Yeah, I'll have to get over it, I guess.
Fel even mentioned it as one of the things that they heard the most requested. He says, you guys are always asking for pirates and stuff. And then like a week later after your podcast drops, this gets announced.
Maybe that was it.
And I mean, I think people have been wanting this for, 10 years or more. So honestly, 10 years ago, if you had made a bet with me, I would have said this would have happened before Undead or Alive. Just the Western thing to me just seemed really out of left field. This seems like a natural fit.
Yeah.
This is making me wonder though. Time Crash made me have the same thought. We don't talk about the lore wise very much, but is this all like on one timeline? Is this, are we talking about a universe where like in the medieval ages, there was a zombie apocalypse and then everything went back to normal until we built like cities and then New York was infested by zombies and then we go to space and there's zombies? Or like
anything's possible.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. Yeah, like I wonder too. Like, is it literally supposed to be in the same timeline, or are they just multiverse? Is it just the multiverse, right?
It might be something like that. There might be something about it in the like fluff text of Time Crash. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I was all excited and like, oh my gosh, like shocked and almost saddened when I saw like the Asmodee and Fantasy Flight logos on the screen for them from their trailer. But I just read, the fine print. Copyright 2025, Asmodee again, Fantasy Flight Games, Guillotine Games, and Zombicide are trademarks of registered trademarks of Asmodee. So they're still listing Guillotine Games, and this is coming from the Guillotine Games Facebook page. So I guess they're still involved. Seems like it.
Yeah, I don't know what the
Yeah,
details there
That
are.
was one of the things they did talk about on that that event. She said it's the same team. It's the same Zombicide team under the Fantasy Flight, and she said that and Death May Die. So it's the same groups that were working on them previously are all still on board working on them. So
Gotcha.
she didn't mention Guillotine Games, but she was very specific that the people that brought
Same
you these
team.
games before are still involved. Yet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what when we had. Did you guys know we had Phil Barros on the show for our 1 year anniversary special episode? Yeah, he mentioned that too. He's like, yeah, they got the same like team, the Z team, he called them. And he has high confidence they're going to do great things, continue to do great things. You know, earlier we said, like, oh yeah, clearly like Simon finished this, like pretty much had done this and handed it off. But and I was like, oh yeah, but I want to just like maybe take a different perspective on that, like. Maybe that this deal has been in the works for a long time, long enough that like the Fantasy Flight team has actually been working on this for a good deal of time. Maybe it's like mostly a Fantasy Flight or only even a Fantasy Flight just to get a little ridiculous. Like who knows, right?
It would be, yeah, to drop this soon. It was almost certainly at least in the works before the acquisition, because they do almost all of their design work before dropping a campaign usually.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say, I think if Simon had not fallen on hard times, they would not have sold any of their IP. I don't think a fire sale was ever in their business plan. I think it was just something they were kind of forced to do.
Yeah. Now before like for me, real quick, like Simon really hit their stride, in my, at least in my gaming world, in my home, right? Fantasy Flight was it for me. Like Fantasy Flight games was like the cream of the crop, the top, the best. If it was Fantasy Flight, I was looking at it or I was getting it. It all kind of started with Descent, Journeys in the Dark, Legends of the Dark, something about the dark. And so that was like a staunch collector of all things, Descent, and Descent is like a fantasy dungeon crawl that's a lot more complex than Zombicide. Zombicide is a much more kind of beer and pretzels and also very streamlined game. But you know, Fantasy Flight Games has really steered away from all of that for several years now, where they've been focusing on their LCGs. This is after Asmodee bought them, and like a lot of people left, and like miniatures games like Star Wars Legion, and like less so on X-Wing and Legion or Armada and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting to me to see Fantasy Flight is involved here because they haven't been producing this kind of game very much at all in the last few years. Several years, maybe. Anyway, we probably talked Dead Men Tales to death. We're just excited, and it's fun to speculate. Let me back up and go to the other news, which actually came out earlier. Which is the Squid Games. So they announced.
I stand a crazy pull for it to be Squid Games. Not at all what I would have expected the next a Zombicide game to be.
Right.
Another Netflix collaboration though, as Army of the Dead was. So.
Yeah. So this news is on October 23rd. Attention survivors, we have a new deadly expansion announcement for Zombicide 2nd Edition. The Squid Game Zombicide expansion is coming to retail next year. So it's actually not Squid Games, it's the Squid Game Zombicide expansion.
It is. So yeah, it's based on a Korean game that I guess is just called Squid Game.
Yeah. Oh.
So this leaves open the possibility for maybe an Altered Carbon thing. And did they also do the Witcher stuff, or was that another
that would be cool
streaming platform?
Yeah, they did the Witcher.
Yeah, so I mean both of those. So you got maybe sci-fi with Altered Carbon and maybe more fantasy with the Witcher.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's interesting because once they have those relationships, sometimes that blossoms into picking up other IPs. It's a good call out.
What's a good Netflix Western show? It's got to be something. Anyway.
I did not like that American Primeval, but I guess that's one.
So anyway, okay, the Squid Game Zombicide expansion is coming to retail next year, where survival means outsmarting not only the undead, but also the ruthless guards playing by their deadly rules. Some of you may have heard whispers of this expansion from earlier events, but now we're officially moving forward and bringing it to life. Step into a high-stakes world where every choice could be your last. Will you survive the games or become another lost soul in the arena? They are doing a special demo, debuting at Spiel Essen, October 23rd to 26th. So if anybody participated in that demo, please write in. Let us know. How did that go? And then, yeah, they're just talking about like, you know, signing up for the Zombicide newsletter, which is great. It's out there. So go to zombicide.co/newsletter, or is that a typo? I forget what it was.
I think that's a type.
Okay.
It might be .co.
Either zombicide.co or zombicide.com/newsletter. Sign up for the newsletter. Hopefully by the time you listen to this, they've sent something out so far. Aside from like, thanks for
we're still waiting.
Yeah.
Here
But all
in
the news
past.
has been, all the news really has been dropping on the Guillotine Games Facebook group. And then of course, everyone else is catching it from there. I remember seeing pictures, which are not here.
Yeah, go up. They're up there, right here. Whoop, go up. That right here. This is where you see some pictures of the box.
Ah, yes.
And I know, I think it's on the back of the box, but two of the guys that did this is the Z team that Fel talked about. It's Rodrigo Sinosa and Troy Von Glenn. It says, I saw that on the box on one of the pictures. It actually had their names on it as developing the game. So
Nice.
Can you hold on. I'm trying to see if we have objective cards on this board or not. Because I'm not sure, is this a campaign or...
I do see a card underneath a survivor there.
Yeah. It looks like they're doing some new stuff, but I don't see... No,
yeah, the pictures I saw, there was no objective cards like in a campaign. They do have cards. I guess the tiles do some specific things. So you draw some special cards that work the tiles. That's those blue cards there.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the regular epic weapon crate and objective tokens on the one I've seen.
Because I was wondering if it would be like a thing where you're like going through the Squid Game. But yeah, we'll have to see.
So there are enemies, what I think are the guards, that have different shaped bases. I remember seeing from other pictures. You could barely
for their
see here.
shapes. That's kind of clever.
Yeah, it's like the bases were circles, squares, and triangles, I think.
Yep.
Those are the Squid Game shapes. It's coming in, it said 2026.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I think they teased or are working on like an American version of Squid Game. So I wonder if that has something to do with this. Because the original one was Korean. They kind of teased it at the end of season 2.
That would be weird for them to be so far ahead of it. Because we know in the past they've been so far behind.
That's true. I don't know. Weren't they working on Army of the Dead before it was out?
Yeah, and it still came out like 2 years after the movie came out.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, and then there's one more thing for the news of just all of these new, where is it? Missions that have come out. Yeah. I was on the site before.
So I don't think we've mentioned it yet. We did have Fel Barros on the podcast a few episodes ago. And one of the things he mentioned was that he wants people to be more invested in the web missions because he thinks universally they turn out really good. And so, I mean, I've been playing some of the older ones. I'm excited there are new ones because I hadn't really paid them very much mind before.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And we agreed with him too. It's like, hey, we've talked about those a bit and we love and appreciate all the innovation that can come out of the web missions. So yeah, we just want to continue to send that message. Like that Z team works really hard on those and are proud of that work, obviously. And as they should be, because it's great. And play more web missions.
Yeah.
So this is the easiest way I could find to do it. So like, there's the Western mission, The Big Boom is the most recent one, came out on November 14th, 2025. There's also Caught by the Jewelry, which is a web mission for 2nd edition, WM38.
In Rio?
Yeah,
it's a Rio one too.
Yes, thank you. There is The Big Boom, And this is great. They're starting to make up for a oh wait, I already looked at Big Boom. They're starting to make up for like a year of like missing. I can't believe it already had been a year of missing web missions. Trapped in the Haunted Manor for WM41 for second edition.
Played it. It was good. I should have used the Ghostbusters, so I'll probably play it again.
Oh,
with the
yeah.
Oh, that'd be
Ghostbusters.
fun.
Yeah, because that came out on October 31st, Halloween.
And it's a haunted thing with ghosts. I'm like, oh man, why didn't I use the Ghostbusters?
That's cool. I'll have
Makes
to get in
sense.
on that. And I haven't played any of these yet, except for the Big Boom. We'll talk about it in a bit. The Headless Horseman's Final Ride, a Black Plague or a fantasy quest. That also came out October 31st, 2025. And then a big old gap between these 4 new missions and the last one that was in like September of 2024.
Spoiler on that Headless Horseman's Final Ride: Fragile Doors.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's the news. Next up, our review and discussion on Zombicide Undead or Alive, the Kickstarter edition and expansions. All right, Zombicide Undead or Alive, the Kickstarter edition. Schmedley, you have some Schmedley stats for us?
I do. All right. So once again, obviously, Zombicide Undead or Alive was made by our main Zombicide team, Raphael Gouteau, Jean-Baptiste Lillian, and Nicholas Raoul. Its campaign marked the 4th setting that we can visit, being set in the Old West, and that campaign ran from February 17th to March 10th of 2021, where it gathered 21,000 backers and raised $3.3 million. I mentioned before that the Board Game Geek score of the core box is a very impressive 8.0, putting it in the 3rd place for retail large box products. And when I talk about the core boxes and their rankings, I normally don't include Kickstarter boxes because of how inaccessible they are. But if we add them back into the data, the Dead West box, which contains all the stretch goals for this one, has a BGG score all the way up at 8.4, which makes it tied for 4th highest rated out of all Zombicide content. So I think that's pretty cool. And I gotta agree. I think there's a lot of good stuff in it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we touched on this last time, and it's like the one time I'm like, we need more survivors because of the class system. How funny. Okay, yeah,
I'll
so we're
just repeat it from the last episode. I understand everybody hates more survivors, wants more zombies. I get it. But I do really think that this is the one Kickstarter that really tried to make it legitimate to want to have more survivors.
Yeah, because you're splitting the pool up between the 4 classes, and it's like when you're looking at brawlers, you're like, I only have like 12 brawlers to choose from, or whatever it is.
I'd say Marvel succeeds a little more, but that's arguably not really a mainline Zombicide. And they definitely do a great job in this one.
I counted right. It's 12 brawlers, or at least from the Dead West box. Okay, so let's just we're looking at the Kickstarter page together here, and let's just kind of overview like what came in this. Actually, but first let's get out of the way. Like, so there was this thing about the sort of. Actually, James, go ahead. Go ahead, read the thing.
Right. So one of the first posts that Simon put out from this is, I'm just going to read it as verbatim as I can here. From quote, from dime novels and comics to revisionist and postmodern films, the Western is one of the most enduring and long-lived genres in pop culture. Over the decades, the tone, content, and form of the stories told have evolved, shaped by the times in which they were created. As we carve out our corner of the setting, we strive to pay homage to the past while being responsible in the present. To that end, we work closely with a Native American history and cultural consultant who lives and works in his Native community. Under his guidance, we designed Native American survivor characters who stand against the undead hordes, and we ultimately chose not to portray Native Americans as zombies in the game. These characters will be revealed as the campaign progresses. End quote.
Yeah, which is nice. Like I love that Simon took great care in this genre and just the way all that was stated was kind of beautiful. And that everything was really cared for and respectful right from the get-go. And I don't think there was any kind of, I don't know. I mean, you tell me, like, comments. Was there any backlash from that or anything? I mean, I hope not. If there is, I don't want to know.
There was a lot. There was a lot.
Oh, there was. Oh, no.
yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, like I told you in a previous podcast that it's not good for your mentals to go back and read
That's
online
right.
comments.
That's what you were
from
talking about.
Any of these Kickstarter podcasts, they're all of them are bad in some way. Whether it's being politically correct, the
Mhm.
woke mob, you agree, disagree.
Mhm.
It just this is a game of plastic army men. It's just
Right.
to me, it's not a place for us to have political discord, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, cool. All right. So, but I could say just for me, I really appreciate where they were coming from. And I feel like it is, everything was respectfully
I think they did a pretty good job.
set
Yeah.
up here. Yeah. I didn't get any icky feelings at all playing this game. Even though there are a couple children, but like I said before, I'm cool with that here for some reason.
Children
We all
got to
know you hate
survive too,
children,
Ryan.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
I know.
Ryan thinks day one of the zombie apocalypse, no more kids.
Yeah. Okay, let's overview all the stuff that it comes in this Kickstarter. So you got the Dead West pledge at $100, which includes Zombicide and Undead or Alive. All the stuff you'll get in a core game. Plus stretch goals, the Dead West box full of promos, aka a ton more survivors across the 4 different classes: gunslinger, townsfolk, brawler, and faithful, excuse me. And then a ton of those, but not enough, like we were saying. And then a bunch of zombies, and a bunch of new abominations, a bunch of really unique abominations, which we'll dive into.
Yeah, can I just
really
say,
cool
I
ones.
think this box might have my favorite abominations in the Dead West box. Like I
Yeah.
said, as a famed Undead or Alive hater, I got to give it that at least. I think the Wendigo might be my favorite abomination in Zombicide.
No,
just
you're a famed
model-wise.
pirate hater is what you're favorite.
I'm also that. I at the beginning of the last episode, I talked about how I was never a huge fan of this one, but I replayed it and it kind of grew on me.
Yeah. No, it's funny you say a famed Undead or Alive hater. I actually wouldn't have thought that. I just thought it's like it's not necessarily your cup of tea. So
It was the setting. I never had any issues with the game.
So the abominations are so cool. I'm excited to dive into those deeper. There were daily duels, which were like the daily spawn, zombie spawns, whatever it was called, 2nd edition, which included abominations as well as unique new walkers. So you could use them as regular walkers, or you can use them as walkers with special rules attached.
Did we get suggested house rules for these like we did in 2nd edition?
Yeah,
They're in the book.
it's in the book.
We do have them. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Or just a lot of those. And then there was the steampunk pledge for $140. So you get Undead or Alive, get all the stretch goals, daily duels, and the campaign expansion, Zombicide Gears and Guns, which included 11 figures, 10 survivors, 1 abomination, 1 campaign sheet, notepad, 16 dice, 176 cards, 12 tokens, and 6 more double-sided tiles. Steampunk rewards. So there was Kickstarter exclusive only with Steampunk pledge. You got a bunch more steampunk and other characters.
And this one included a new class. You had the engineer.
Yeah.
There they are. Oh my gosh! I was putting together the mission templates and map editor earlier, and I was like, where is that? So it's the engineer class.
Yes,
the
they
engineer
The
class.
5th one, yeah.
yeah they don't include any faithful characters in either the campaign box or the steampunk rewards. They're kind of replaced with the engineer class.
I'm excited to learn more
We're
about
atheists
those.
now. Yeah.
Well, you can still play with faithful in the campaign. There's nothing that says that you can't. It's just that's kind of the way it's set up.
Yeah,
right.
they're just it's technology's taking over faith in this setting apparently.
Can't believe it.
Yeah. The full Steam pledge on Zombicide Undead or Alive, it's $240. Zombicide Undead or Alive, Gears and Guns. All gameplay optional buys for a $15 discount. Running Wild. I thought it was Running Wild, Deadstock pack, and Abomination pack. Sorry, Running Wild. What is that? It's
It is an expansion, not a campaign, and it brings horses into the mix. So you get 6 new survivors, and their horses.
And if you do you get 7 survivors, along with an abomination.
Yep. You get Abomination, the Nightmare Horse, and then you get the Sister Temperance is a Kickstarter exclusive, little small separate box that comes with it.
Yeah.
And you get hers off horse, and then you get her on not horse, but donkey.
But no donkey.
But no donkey.
Deadstock was Kickstarter exclusive? I thought that was retail. Oh.
Yeah.
Running Wild is retail, but the Sister Temperance isn't a Kickstarter exclusive.
Yeah.
But I thought they just, I feel like they normally do just bonus retail abominations. Was it just Abominate versus Crocosaur in this one? No, they're Kickstarter exclusive too. Yeah.
Wow.
The Deadstock. That surprised me. I thought Deadstock was retail, but I guess it was Kickstarter exclusive as well.
So it's just, is there only the Running Wild retail Abomination? And the Gears and Gun one?
So if you're just buying retail, the only abominations available to you is the bowler hat, the Steam guy from the Gears and Guns, and then the horse.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't realize it was that limited.
So you really miss out.
Yeah.
Really, very much so. Yeah. Yeah, especially compared to like White Death, right? Like White Death has so much stuff, and like I don't know, I don't remember well, but like I feel like you could get a good variety of things without having to back the Kickstarter.
They have like the 4 Divine Beasts, and the second edition also had like a package of retail pack of 4 Abomination. So I think that's why I assumed Deadstock was retail. I didn't remember that it wasn't.
Yeah. Okay, Deadstock pack, Abomination pack, Kickstarter exclusive. Long Dead Walkers, Kickstarter exclusive. Special guest Palaparente, Kickstarter exclusive. I like the special guest box includes like not just 2 or 3 miniatures / survivors, but it's like a ton. 2, 4, 6,
9.
8, 9. Okay. And Abominate versus Crocosaur. I'm so dense. Someone's like, yeah, it's Godzilla versus King Kong. It's like, oh my God, I never would have put that together probably. So thank you.
Well, I mean, even if it's not Godzilla, I mean, he did fight, basically a serpent, in the first black and white movie, and then later on a crocodile in one of the color movies. So it's just kind of a trope.
Homage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Crocosaur is definitely less Godzilla-ish than Abominate is King Kong-ish.
Yeah.
Right.
And then some add-ons, what you can add to your pledge. You could add Running Wild by itself, a la carte, Deadstock, the extra players upgrade set. So real quick, this came in really handy for me because it has the different colored rings and pegs. And so when I was, when you have companions in a mission, I would just put the peg, like one single peg on the card next to on the sheet. Player ID card, is that what it's called? Next to the dashboard, and then have the rings on their bases so that I had more to work with and tell who was with who. So I'd be like, oh, okay, the red and the orange pairing, or like the lavender and the blue pairing, or whatever.
This one was
about how to fix that problem, Ryan.
Sorry, say again.
I know you got a 3D printer. I know you got a 3D printer. There's a way you can fix that problem.
Yeah. Well, if I painted everything, that would fix the problem too.
There you go.
I did
the upgrade set. The extra player set was essential for me. I play a lot with 4 people, and everybody always wants to be 2 characters. So, and these dashboards are so unique, and you need, there's 6 of each starter weapon card. Like if you're going to play with more than 6, survivors, this really is an essential buy because you can't crack out your, dashboard from second edition, or you won't have the starting cards and
and also it includes rules or suggested rules for when you're playing with more than 6 people in there. It's got a little leaflet that talks about, adding things to the game. You add more players.
Yeah, it was there. Yeah, it's really nice how they have that laid out there. Western tiles set, just another set of the tiles, including the train tiles. And I'm assuming like a token punch board like they usually do. I don't see it in the picture, but it does say one punch board.
Yeah.
Punch board.
And it's the tiles from both Gears and Guns and the core set.
Oh,
along
cool.
with the trains. That's why there's
that's
why
right,
there's 15 tiles.
Yeah.
Yep, and then there's 3 train tiles. So you actually, it's quite a bit actually.
That's quite the set.
Special Customer Parente, Abomination Crocosaur, Long Dead Walkers, Lone Horse Pack. So this didn't
the
come
Lone Horse Pack
pledge,
no.
right?
Right. So the Lone Horse Pack is it's a fill-in. So if you open up the Running Wild, there's cardboard tokens. So when you're off your horse, you're supposed to put the cardboard tokens showing that your horse is by itself. So this gives you, the horse without a rider. So when you go into a building or get off your horse, you could put this out with basically had that 3D element on the board as opposed to using a, cardboard, riderless horse on the board.
But it's missing one miniature.
I would agree. You don't have the donkey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Missing a donkey.
And there's a rules potential issue with that too. That I don't know if did you guys run into? You want to talk about that?
A rules issue. I love it. I love hearing about rules issues.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I don't know what you're referencing. I've never played with the
I have
horses.
no idea either.
Oh, okay. Actually, let's talk about that when we get to the mission.
Sure.
I'm gonna tease everybody because that's the context where it comes in.
That kept me awake.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm gonna grab my dice real quick, my metal steam dice.
Question is, will Ryan actually ever use these Steam dice?
Yeah. I might have. But I was like, well, I'm not playing the Gears and Guns. And like I need to have like a proper dice tray to throw them into, to chuck them into. Because I don't want to tent my board, my tiles.
Yeah.
Or the table.
Speaking,
These suckers are heavy.
my son picked these up.
Oh, the bullet
nice.
ones.
Bullet
Cool.
dice.
Very cool.
They're heavy. They're heavy though.
Do it again. Oh, yes.
Yeah, those are the exact ones I was talking about last time.
Yeah, my son picked them up. They're heavy.
Yeah, they look fun.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Very cool.
Were you like, Jason, were you like, okay, we can't play without these now, from now on, with Undead or Alive?
I love playing with them. We use a little dice tray. I'm like, don't throw them on the board. I don't want a dented board. So,
okay, question. You guys like dice towers?
No. Not for me.
I don't use them.
I hate dice towers. Okay.
Yeah.
I much prefer dice trays. I hate dice towers.
Yeah,
There's
I hate
nothing
dice
more
towers.
annoying than listening to that rattling for freaking hours on end. I feel like I'm at a damn casino. Clack, 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 clack.
The reason I hesitated is I bought one for my son when he was like 12 because he had HeroScape, and there's nostalgia on that. He loves to crack that, but it's the only time we use it when we play HeroScape. Other than that, I'm not a big fan of dice towers.
Yeah, I like the idea of dice towers, but I don't like to use them myself because of the clack, 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 like you said, James. Exactly. Like and like when I don't like something rolling dice for me, that feeling. So I don't like dice towers for that reason also.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan. I see really cool, like really well designed ones. I'm like, that'd be a cool thing to own. I'd never use it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Schmedley. I've seen some really cool ones, but
All right, so metal steam dice. I used to not get these kind of things because they're pretty expensive, and it doesn't. But I like being a completionist and having to go back to second edition and get the metal dice when I finally found them on a good deal. I was glad that I did, even if I don't use them, which is insane talk.
Yeah, I like when they're different materials. When they're just a little fancy color-wise, I won't normally. But like wooden and metal, and with the exception of the DC superhero ones, I did get.
Oh yeah, those are great looking.
Even though they're still plastic, yeah.
So yeah, I'm just showing on my camera real quick, like the metal steam dice box. In the image, it looks like this big old box to me, but like in real life, it's just a tiny little box. And the little.
It's just 6 dice.
Do you guys have these?
Heavy. Yes.
Yeah, they are heavy, and they are nice looking and nice feeling, and they're tiny though. They are not the 16 or whatever millimeter. The regular ones are. Well, I guess they're not that tiny.
Yeah, I think
Actually,
they're the same size.
What? They're the same size? That's so weird. They
Are they
look like
not?
they're tiny. Have I gone crazy? Yeah, they're the same size. So, and to verify it, so they're on this. These are Steam dice. So the one side is like the Steam gauge. You could see that.
James loves
so I
that.
get the angle, but the
Only
six
one
side.
side is that.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
six side is the six.
that's fine. That's perfect dice.
Don't
Yeah.
get him started on the wooden red and black dice, though.
This is so weird. Just looking at the box, I could have sworn that these dice were smaller, and now I see they're the same size. I'm tripping out here.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever sold different size dice in Zombicide. In the most recent Cthulhu Death May Die, they have big dice. I don't think we've ever had small dice though, except in travel maybe.
Wacky.
Well, that wasn't even
Well,
dice. That was like
even
some kind of
travel had
spinning
those-
thing.
Oh, okay.
Spinny action.
Yeah, wooden dice, red and black symbols. Those are cool. For some reason, it bothers me that I don't know. Not for some reason. I think it just bothers me because like I have 6 only red symbols on the dice, and then 6 that are just slightly different red, like a mix of red and black, and that bothers me. It's like I only want to use one of. I only want to use the red ones now. It's weird. Yeah, I feel weird about it. It's slightly annoying for some reason. I don't know, like, yeah.
The solution is you buy 2 sets of the black and red, and you use those, and you just don't use the red ones.
Wait, on
Yeah, I guess
these,
so.
because I don't actually have the red and black ones, I don't think.
Mhm.
But am I looking at this correctly that 1, 2, and 5 are black and 3,
Like
4, and
cards.
6 are red?
Yeah,
The odds are black.
It's the suits of the cards.
No.
and
That's
the
not
suits from the
odds, though.
cards.
Yeah, 6 and 3 are 2 different things, right?
Yeah,
6
sorry,
is
not the
even
odds.
and 3 is odd.
Yeah,
it's
so
different.
yeah, it's 1, 2, and 5, and 3, 4, and 6 is just a very odd 2 sets of numbers.
Ryan doesn't know his odds and evens, sorry. But yeah, you're right. It is odd. What the hell?
Again, 2 symbols on a dice makes no sense.
That's not what I'm complaining about. You can't just make this about your thing.
I can and I did.
That's great. Okay. So still, James, you refuse to play with these dice that came in the core box?
Yeah,
Make your
and
friends
let
do
me
it.
tell you a quick little story about that. So I'm not the biggest fan of Westerns either. I love this game, so don't take that wrong.
But you're in
But
Texas.
I've just
You are
I
Western.
understand.
You are the Wild
well,
West.
No, yeah, sure. But my friend that I play a lot with that's his favorite genre. So when we did this Kickstarter, this is the first Kickstarter we ever did where we literally bought everything. We didn't skimp out on anything. And because he loved the genre so much. And so when he got these dice and we started playing, he's also the yin to my yang. If I'm a horrible dice roller, he's a great dice roller. And I've got a little bit of personal satisfaction that he refuses not to use these dice and he always rolls horribly with them. So there's a little bit about me that's like, ha, ha, ha. See? So yeah, he plays with them and he fails with them all the time, but he refuses not to play with them because he bought them. So
That's hilarious. All right. So that's the overview of all the things. We kind of blazed through all that, but we're going to come back to things as we sort of start working our way, deep diving through each thing. So let's go back and talk about, let's see, what's on our list?
Survivors.
Survivors. Okay, let's talk about the survivors in Undead or Alive. So Jason had sent along, where am I? Where am I trying to open? This one? Jason had sent along a list of the pop culture references for these survivors. And thank you so much for that, because I've been dying to like know what these are or do them, but like I haven't been the most avid like watcher of Western stuff. Although like more of this was familiar to me than I thought it would be. I do have some old favorites. Okay, real quick. We can go around. Starting with Schmedley, like what is your favorite Western movie or show all time?
Pass.
Okay.
Unforgiven is probably my favorite Western movie.
Same, Unforgiven, hands down.
I don't think I've seen Unforgiven. That's the Clint Eastwood? Yeah.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood directed movie.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman.
For me, it's Tombstone.
Hmm.
Man, like I love that movie. And then I'm going to cheat and I'm going to add my show is Deadwood.
Mm-hmm.
I never did finish it though. I kind of don't want to finish it. I'm a little scared to finish it. It's like seems like it's going to be really terrible at the end. No spoilers, please. It just feels very ominous. Bad shit.
Well, if you want to feel like it hasn't ended, then there's a movie that came out afterwards, right? So you can just watch the show and it still might be done because there's a movie you haven't watched.
Right.
There you go.
Okay. All right, so let's go down the list. Jason, you talk, I'll walk. Who do we got here?
So just real quick, I've started a list, and then there's a lot of other work out there. So I went on Board Game Geek, and so reference slot. What I didn't do is I felt some people forced some of these, and I didn't do any stretches. If they look like the character, and you could tell, then I was in for sure. So. So first up, we got April, Townfolk out of the Dead West box, and this is January Jones as Sarah Ramirez from Sweetwater. Now this is Benji Brawler, and this is Robert Redford from Jeremiah Johnson. But I know that's Redford, but man, it looks like what's his name from the comedian from what was the movie with those the guys go to Vegas and he had the baby
Zach
on the front.
Galifianakis.
Doesn't that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't see that at all. I would like to give a shout out to Robert Redford as he did just recently pass. And if you have not seen the movie Jeremiah Johnson, you absolutely should. It's the movie's great. The scenery is awesome. Watch it on the biggest screen you can. It's really cool. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Billy the Kid here. Now this movie I had not seen and I was surprised, but this is Bloody Mary. Gunslinger, and this is Salma Hayek. She played Sarah Sandoval in Banditas. Historical Butch Cassidy, and then this one they did not. This is not Paul Newman in any way. I think this is more the historical Butch Cassidy here. Good old Calvin from the Steampunk Extras. Gunslinger, and this is Michael J. Fox's Marty McFly from Back to the Future, and the Calvin references the Calvin Klein underwear from the first one that he was wearing.
Love that. Do you want to take that back, Schmedley? Is Back to the Future 3 your favorite Western film?
It's one I've seen, so by process of elimination.
I was about to bet that he hadn't seen it.
I know, I was going on a limb there.
Oh yeah, I've seen. So yeah, I guess from that perspective, it must be.
All right.
Next up, we got Charles. He was a Dead West box, Townfolk. This is Christopher Waltz. This is Dr. King Schultz. This is from Django Unchained. Okay, up next here we got, this is Clint, Gunslinger. This is Lee Van Cleef as Angel Eyes from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And, I know that I think Zombicide has a history of maybe not always completing the trifecta when they dip into a movie, but this is one that they did do. You get the good, the bad, and the ugly. So
awesome. Still got to watch all of those. I started the first one. It was really good. It was a lot better than I expected it was going to be. Of that the Man with No Name trilogy.
And next up we got this is Connie, Dead West box, Townfolk. This is Michael Biehn as Johnny Ringo from Tombstone.
Or possibly Everett Hitch, Viggo Mortensen from Appaloosa.
I could see that.
He actually also used a double barrel shotgun and fit the backstory of the Connie character more than Johnny Ringo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's pretty much the same guy.
For me, I'm going to say it's Viggo Mortensen from Appaloosa.
I would agree.
From Mamone.
We got Doc Holliday. I would say this is more historical. I mean, I don't know if this one looks like Val Kilmer, but
yeah. So you listed it as just historical, but I put on my visual version of it like Val Kilmer, because when you look at historical images, like it looks like Doc Holliday has like very black hair and mustache. And this artwork is kind of more orange colored, it seemed, or light brown orange perhaps, and Val Kilmer certainly is that color. And like that classic with the coat sort of draping over with his arms not quite tucked in. The crevasse and all that, just, you know, some of the details, it just to me evokes like the Val Kilmer version of Doc Holliday. So,
and who doesn't like Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday? I mean,
exactly. Like it's
great
like
performance.
absolutely legendary. Everybody knows and loves this character and performance.
Doc Umber, Christopher Lloyd is Dr. Emmett Brown from Back to the Future. And, you know, this gives you, now you guys might have to refresh memory. We do have, you know, Marty McFly and Doc Brown both in Invader and in the Old West timeline, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Right.
That's
Yes.
that could definitely set up for some cool, you know, homebrew missions where you could have some time travel there.
I've been meaning to for a while. I just started this dang podcast.
Yeah. And you got Dottie, Evan, Rachel Wood as Dolores Abernathy from Westworld HBO, which I've never watched. And they have quite a few Westworld characters in here.
Yeah. Westworld was such a compelling show to start with. And then I think maybe a lot of us have heard that it just kind of fell apart. And I didn't watch it long enough to see it happen, unfortunately.
Went in a different direction, I can tell you that.
Yep. Earl, Morgan Freeman as Ned Logan from Unforgiven. This one's spot on, and I love Unforgiven, so it was great to have him included.
Mm-hmm.
Now, next up, we got Eli. This is Franco Nero from the original 1966 Django. Father Luke Christopher, I cannot say that name. Anyone else want to take a shot at that?
Heyerdahl?
Thor Gunderson, the Swede from Hell on Wheels, which is a TV show.
It was really hard for me to find a matching image of this. I'm not like totally sure why this was the connection that was made, because this guy has a pretty different dress. Like he's wearing kind of like Neo's Matrix suit from Matrix Revolutions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw a picture of him, and a lot of people that called out his jaw is like, you know, is more of his face. But I did see a picture where he didn't have the collar, but he definitely looked more like the mini. All right, Garth up next is you know, the Duke himself. John Wayne is Garth Edwards. And so the John Wayne one is a little bit of amalgam. I've seen people point out like this is not like one single movie that this mini is taken from. Like they took little elements from everything. I did see somebody called out so his name Garth. So it's Party on Wayne, Party on Garth. That's the retort.
Gotcha.
So that's where they came up with the name Garth. I think that was kind of a. Then you got Hank. This is Charles Bronson as Bernard O'Reilly from the Magnificent Seven. So I guess this outfit is from a different Charlie Bronson movie, but I guess in this Magnificent Seven, there's a scene in the beginning where he's using an axe. Next up, I like your little picture there. We got Hobbs.
You had to get a meme in there.
You finally killed the Abomination.
Very next card is an Abomination.
Yep. So we got Hobbs. This is Leonardo DiCaprio as Calvin, hence the name Hobbs. Calvin Coolidge from Django Unchained.
I'm glad you're here to point these things out, because I'm like, oh, Calvin and Hobbs. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a few witty ones in here like that. I was like, oh, that's how cool.
I should get it. I'm just not paying attention.
This was another spot on one. Janie, this is Kim Dickens as Joni Stubbs from Deadwood. That little hat, the outfit. Yeah.
This is cool. This is the first of two that is The Walking Dead character, or the Walking Dead franchise character in here. So I think that's kind of cool. It's like, oh, kind of another inside sort of thing, you know, because it's from, I know this character, Madison from The Walking Dead, the Fear the Walking Dead spinoff series.
Here we got the first of our three amigos, Jeans.
No.
Oh, I know. I know. So Chevy Chase is Dusty Bottoms of the three, or is it going to be two amigos?
Yeah.
Just so
Dos
sad.
amigos.
Yeah. How disappointing.
Yeah.
Jesse James, historical. I kind of a miss here. Jesse's brother Frank, they were a duo. Why didn't they have Frank? It was Frank and Jesse James. Should have had the dual outlaws. I think that would have been cool.
Yeah.
A little of a missed opportunity. Christoph, this is Yul Brenner as Chris Adams from the Magnificent Seven. Also, Yul Brenner very famously played that cyborg from or robot from Westworld, the movie. So
Oh. And by the way, all the Magnificent Seven references are from the original Magnificent Seven from like the 60s?
Yes.
Not the remake.
Next up is Lilith. This is Meredith Weaver as Mary Agnes McBoo from Godless, which is a Netflix on Netflix.
Now, she's the other Walking Dead cast member. So she was in the Walking Dead, the main series, for a bit. She was a blonde girl. I forget the character's name. She didn't last terribly long. Sorry, spoilers. People die in that show.
Oh no.
Lord Forsaken. Merritt Weaver as, oh no, wait, this is right.
Oh, whoops.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah.
Lord Forsaken. This is from Wild Wild West. This is oh Lord, what's his name?
I think I hate this character from that movie so much that I must have just goofed and gotten it, wrong by
On purpose.
pasting. Yeah.
It's Kenneth Branagh as Dr. Arliss from Wild Wild West.
There you go.
So the guest boxes are always original, but this is the exception. So in the Paulo Parente box, Lucan is Snoop Dogg.
Straight up. I'm surprised they didn't do because Snoop Dogg is just notorious for being so positive and just setting up like partnerships with everybody, right? It's like he's always collabing with all, and I'm surprised like they didn't have a big like, Danny Trejo level Snoop Dogg involvement in this one. Hopefully in the future.
Yep. Yeah, surprised this wasn't an official one. Now this one's a little bit controversial. Most people that I see list this one, the Martin character, they list him as Mel Gibson, who played Maverick in the movie, which is a remake of the Maverick TV show, which starred James Gardner. The outfit, and I think the face, looks more like James Gardner. Now, James Gardner was in Maverick, the movie. I think he played a sheriff in the Mel Gibson one. But nearly every reference I saw shows Martin as Mel Gibson. And the Martin is definitely, if it is Mel Gibson, it's more of a reference to, Martin Riggs from Lethal Weapon. But the outfit and the face to me looks more like James Gardner than it does Mel Gibson. But
I agree. And
speaking of which, you get Maybelle. This is Jodie Foster as Annabelle Bransford from Maverick. Coming in at this is our trilogy of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Miguel as Eli Wallach as Tuco Ramirez. Mika as Claudia Cardell as Jill McBain in Once Upon a Time in the West. Now this one is another unusual one. This is the guest box again, and I'm not familiar, but Mr. Gray, I saw numerous artwork that it was homage to Jasper Stone of Deadlands, and I saw numerous artwork, including one with cards and almost this exact pose. So that's why I included it, because I saw enough references where I was like, okay, yeah, it's definitely at least paying homage to it. So
yeah, I didn't see that image that looked so similar. So I was like wondering if this was a big stretch or not. And
yeah, a lot of people on the Kickstarter page thought that it was supposed to be an Eddie from Iron Maiden.
I could almost see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Deadlands is a Savage Worlds game. That's like a role-playing game, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, or a role-playing setting at least.
So here, no disappointment here. You get your second Benditas. It's Monica as Penelope Cruz as Maria Alvarez. So you get both Benditas. So I haven't seen that movie either, but they got cool outfits.
Yeah.
Old Cuss. Ian McShane as Al Swearinger from Deadwood, which the Swearinger and the Old Cuss is kind of funny.
Which is also a historical figure.
And this is the second time we're getting this character in Zombicide World. Bill from he was a guest box, right? Or not a guest box. What's it called?
No, he was a gaming night box.
Gaming night box. That's what I meant.
Professor Fletcher. Michelle Dockery is Alice Fletcher from Godless from Netflix.
There you go. There's that Netflix show they need to make a Western show. They need to
say
make
the same thing.
Yeah.
You got Reigns. This is Daniel Day-Lewis as Bill the Butcher from Gangs of New York.
I'm not going to argue with this one, but I don't understand the point. Like, if you're going to make his character, then why not give him knives or a cleaver or something? Like, why put a rifle in his? It just seems kind of odd.
Yeah.
Unless they were, they do that dance. They don't want to get too close, I guess, and say, hey, that's ripping the character off. But
Like some people thought he was Some people thought he was that cartoon villain.
That's what I was thinking of.
From Schmedley Whiplash or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I was picking up cartoon villain vibes, and I couldn't think of what that might have been from.
That mustache.
And
Yeah, he's got the mustache for it.
Yeah. Or maybe he's Waluigi. Just kidding.
Okay, Rob is Kevin Costner as Charlie White from Open Range. That is a great movie. Open Range is a good one.
Nice. Yeah, when I saw this listing, I was like, that doesn't look like Kevin Costner. And then I found the image. It's like, oh, this is a dead ringer for this Kevin Costner in this character.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin Costner's done so many different Westerns. You know,
yeah.
I'm sure it's difficult
Like Tom
to pick which
Selleck.
one. Yes, yeah.
And, you know, going through this, like Leonardo DiCaprio, too, has been in a lot of Westerns also, right? Or a number of them, I should say. Like 3 of them to me is a lot.
Yeah. Ruby. Sharon Stone is Ellen, the lady from The Quick and the Dead. Rusty is Jeff Bridges is Rooster Corbin from True Grit, which was a remake. Because I think the original True Grit had the Duke in it. John Wayne. Sheriff Earp, this one is a historical figure, but it looks so much. It's Kurt Russell's Wyatt Earp. So this is both historical. And I think it's hard not to look at this picture and not see Kurt Russell's Wyatt Earp.
Yeah.
From Tombstone. This one, so many people love this mini too. Sheriff Mittens. It's Bernie Sanders from the viral photo from Joe Biden at Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden's inauguration when it was really cold out, and he's got the mittens on, and really kind of funny take on that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's just such an obscure reference overall as far as pop culture goes. I mean, yeah, we all know it, but I mean, really, it's just really weird.
It's out there for sure. Somebody must have really loved it, but it's great in the chair with the horns and.
Yeah, like every now and then I completely forget about the Covfefe thing, and then I see that miniature pop up, and I just crack up from the Black Plague or Green Horde, whichever it was, campaign. I love that.
You never know what's going to stick.
Yeah, they just throw in off the wall stuff here and there. It's great.
And this is the last of the. Unfortunately, 2 amigos, Snake Eyes. This is Steve Martin as Lucky Day from the 3 amigos, meaning that we never get a Martin short. But if you look at the numbers, I think he was created, because I think it goes like, if you look at the number on the bases, it goes like 30, like 31 is missing. It goes like 30 and then 32 or something like that.
Wow.
So if you look at the number of the bases, you'll see that there's 1 missing there. So I think they may have created it, and maybe I don't know. Maybe
the Martin Short estate came out
him from us. Yeah.
Ask Phil Barros next time we get a chance.
Yeah. I was almost wondering if maybe like they couldn't do it for some reason, or who knows. And then they were like, well, we'll put it at the next one. But hearing that, and I'm glad, thank you for the investigative work there. Like, sounds like, yeah, they did create it and they just couldn't get it passed.
Yeah. Next up is The Judge. This is Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Supreme Court Justice. This is a cool looking mini. And I think that's the only maybe the only judge. A lot of sheriffs. This is the only judge in the whole game. The Nameless. I love to play with this mini just because I love the Clint Eastwood in Western. So this is Clint Eastwood. Kind of an amalgam like John Wayne. This outfit isn't clearly from any particular. It takes little elements from the different ones, but. You know, like that, the hat is not the same as like in the picture you got here, but it's clearly from the Man with No Name trilogy, Fistful of Dollars, Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Tilly is Haley Seinfeld as Maddie Ross from True Grit. Trips. This was Terrence Hill as Trinity in the movie They Call Me Trinity. Vina, this is Olivia Wilde as Ellie Swenson from Cowboys and Aliens. I've never seen that movie, but I remember the trailers.
I watched it recently. It's not great, but it's not bad either. Man, I wish we got more characters from this movie just so we can have our Zombicide Invader and Undead or Alive mashup. Like somebody out there must have made missions for this, like it's Cowboys and Aliens style missions. So please let us know, or put it on the website, or both.
Next up, we got Violet. This is Thaddy Newton as Maeve Millay from Westworld. Wiser. This is Bud Spencer as Bambino. I think that's the other brother from the movie They Call Me Trinity. I think this is Trinity's brother. Wild Bill Hickok. Keith Carradine is Bill Hickok. And Wolf is Jamie Foxx, Fox Wolf, as Django from Django Unchained. Woods is Ed Harris as Sheriff Cornelius from Sweetwater. And then Zhao, Jackie Chan, Chan Wang from Shanghai Noon. The only missed opportunities here is, they've always done like musical people and icons. Why didn't they get like a Johnny Cash in here or Willie Nelson? They could have had a few musical guys. They seem to always fit, some rock star, whether it's Ozzy or something. I think of missed opportunities in an Old West box would have been some, a Hank Williams, a Johnny Cash, or a Willie Nelson, and that would have been really great.
Yeah,
I think I have an answer to that. There's no country and western fans on the Z team or in CMON.
Yeah, that probably. What a shame.
I think that's the deal.
Yeah, what a shame.
Yeah, I agree. That is a missed opportunity. I mean, I'm not a huge country western fan, but everything you listed off are household names, and yeah, it would be really great in here. Like, who wouldn't love the opportunity to play Johnny Cash or,
Willie Nelson,
Dolly Parton.
Parton.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. There's so many. Loretta Lynn. Oh man, there's just
okay. Survivors. Who's got a favorite survivor?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite, but I do have a complaint, which is like the opposite.
Ooh.
Okay.
So I noticed this while playing my book club mission. I am missing Billy the Kid, his miniature.
Oh no.
Instead, I have a second Father Luke who is missing an arm. So yeah, you can't quite tell it's him on first glance because he's not holding the cross, the second mini of him. So
that's terrible.
I have an armless Father Luke instead of Billy the Kid.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That is terrible.
That is no fun.
As far as like a favorite mechanically, like I haven't played with even a fraction of the Dead West survivors, so it's hard to pick.
Okay.
I am still very much leaning into theme on these. I want to be Clint Eastwood. Oh, I want to, so if I'm grabbing them, I'm grabbing them for some of the ones I just want to play because that's the character I like. I want to look at the mini.
I love Roberto from the Running Wild set. His mounted version I just think is really funny. With him riding with his big old cleaver. I think he's a real fun miniature. I like him a lot.
Yeah, my son-in-law, he dropped his mini. He has that when he dropped it, and he lost the little sword. He's so depressed.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Yeah, all the Running Wild miniatures are incredible, or the horse one, the mounted ones at least.
Yeah.
So this is a good best pick.
And I mentioned
Tyler the Barber, I think, is really, really cool. I just love how he's like running around with scissors. He just looks really thematic. And then, there's not a single one of those Running Wild miniatures that I think is a bad job. Ollie's cool looking. Mitchell's cool looking. I think they're really great.
Yeah. Yeah, they are all really cool.
Here's my man with his machete. You see him with his little sombrero and
because he's so chunky, right? Like the miniature.
He's great.
I mean, the guy his stature he's chunky, but just the miniature is obviously very chunky because of that. It just it's really good. Good meaty forearm holding that really busted up blade of his.
He looks like he can make some good barbecue.
Yeah, it looks like the wind's blowing him. It's got great motion with him running full charge.
Yeah. Mitchell especially too with his what do you call this? Like a cloak or drape?
Like his poncho?
Poncho. It's poncho, isn't it? Yeah, poncho.
Or serape or
sriracha?
No, not spice.
Oh, whoops.
Forgot of it.
No, I know.
Now I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, and so let's see. Some call outs I want to have here for like favorite survivors. Some real MVPs in my games, like the Garth, not just because he's John Wayne, but because he has on blue +1 free ranged action. On his orange, you can give him another +1 free ranged action, or a +1 to dice roll for ranged. And he's a gunslinger. So am I doing that wrong? Like as a gunslinger, +1 to dice roll ranged, you can be rolling 4 pluses.
Yeah, or fives with
When-
your old timer.
when you're fanning. Yeah. So 4+ to fan. Yeah, his orange +1 free ranged action. His reds are +1 free ranged action. So you can have up to +3 free ranged actions with this guy if you spec him out that way when you're leveling him up. Or your fanning can be +1 damage, or marksman on red. So I just, yeah, he is incredible. Like, he just does some serious damage, this guy. Okay, I got a couple more to share. So, like, the Native Americans, I wanted to say, like, in the pop culture reference stuff, I know, like, we talked about up front that Simon was, like, really careful in their handling of being respectful to the Native American culture. And the Native American survivors in this, in all of this whole release are incredible. Like, they're really cool designed and everything. But I wish that we could have got some pop culture reference, like, really cool and, like, genuinely Native American actor represented characters, you know?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
You know, like the characters from Dances with Wolves, for instance, come to mind. What are their names?
West Studi would have been great. Mid Thunder would have been great. Like, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of actors that are Native American that they could have put in there.
Yeah.
But I also understand that if they want to, like, just draw a line, you know, and just say, okay, they're all going to be this way or they're not, you know, I get that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I just would have liked to have celebrated, like, those actors
Sure.
in you know, in those movies and all that too. Yeah. Okay. So that said, though, like, the Native American characters, survivors in this game, for the most part, for me, like, bring it, man. Like, they are, they're incredible. I put, like, a lot of them in a couple of my crews, in my posses in some of the games that I played. And the two that really stood out to me are, I'm going to butcher these names, I'm sure, because I don't know how to pronounce these, like Nabahi, maybe.
Yeah, Born Leader's great.
Yeah, so Born Leader on blue. He's a brawler, so he's got charge. On his orange, +1 free melee action, and this is the one that I like, is the BIA, the Brothers in Arms, +1 die combat. Make sure I'm doing Brothers in Arms right. So that means him and everyone else in his zone get this benefit, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So everybody in his zone, +1 die combat. Absolutely incredible. And then his red, +1 free combat action, or Brothers in Arms +1 damage melee, or charge +1 damage. So for my money, it's Born Leader, it's Brothers in Arms +1 die combat, and Brothers in Arms +1 damage melee. And he's an absolute beast. And he takes your team from, like, whatever to amazing. The next guy, and the last one I'll talk about, I think, is Kopehe, I think. This fellow with the blue army jacket on. So he's a brawler. His blue is charge +1 die, which is really good. Like, really good. So you move and you attack all in one action, and you have an extra die to do it. His orange is +1 free melee action or hit and run. His reds are +1 free charge or +1 dice to roll melee, or roll 6 +1 damage melee. So really, any of that is kind of incredible. Total beast with a good set of melee weapons. So those are my top picks for my favorites.
So Ryan, just calling out not necessarily favorite characters but just odd things, is there's only one character out of the 100 that comes with shove at blue.
Yeah.
And he's a Kickstarter Kickstarter exclusive character. He's the only one that comes with shove at blue. And then also nobody comes with tough. So to get tough, you actually have to be playing with this Gears and Guns campaign and get an armor card that gives you tough. So there's no other way to get tough in this game. Weird. Which I find a little bit odd. Right.
Were there any unused of those abilities, like in the back of the book, that they just didn't even come up at all, that you noticed?
So I'm not 100% sure that there's a single character that comes with Inventor outside of the campaign boxes. but the inventor skill is in the core box and not the Gears and Guns skill list. So that's a little bit of an oddity as well.
Yeah, very odd. All right, survivors. How about Abominations? So I need to get the PDF ready for that.
So yeah, is there
So many good Abominations.
great abominations in this one?
All right, the Dead West book. Thank you, Simon, for having put out the PDFs of all of this stuff from the get-go.
Please do this for the reboot box for 2nd edition.
Yes. Asmodee, please put out all the PDFs for us, please. Thank you.
Please.
/Fantasy Flight /Geek Team.
Do you mind if I pause right here real quick while we're on that subject?
Yeah.
I recently had an interaction with Asmodee about this game. I'm sorry, Guillotine Games, not Asmodee, but Guillotine Games, because I asked them if they would release the blank ID cards and zombie cards so we can, do customization with them like they have with the other games. And they said that they currently do not have those files. That was the response I got.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Got the Alpha Bane, and Alpha Bane's 3 actions per activation. All zombies, including runners, have gone through the activation step and resolved their first action. Alpha Bane then goes through their activation step again. So the Alpha Bane gets 3.
But yeah, we've seen this guy before, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which we've seen from Wolfsburg, I think was the first time we saw that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. I don't think I've run into this guy yet in my Undead or Alive games.
What's he called?
haven't
Like
either.
the Alpha? He's the Alpha Abomination. Or no, the Wolf one gets 3 activations, right? And then the Alpha does the same thing, but then he turns all runners into wolves.
Right.
Is that what he does? I don't think I've encountered that guy either.
He's also called the Alpha Abomination.
Yeah, it's like Wolf Abomination Alpha, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So Alpha Bane, 3 actions per activation.
3 activations. Yep. Next up is the Cactus Queen. When the Cactus Queen is eliminated, each actor within a range of 0 to 1 and line of sight suffers 1 damage, and the survivors earn all AP. And then we got Fat Mace. Fat Mace. Where's this one? Fat Mace is attacks deal 2 wounds.
Yeah, he's a nasty customer.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I want to go back to Cactus Queen real quick. I'm was still processing that. So each actor within range 0 to 1 and line of sight suffers damage 1. So it's actor.
Yes. So that means zombies and survivors.
Wait a minute.
So do you think that goes by targeting priority?
Well, it says they all receive. So
Yeah.
each
that's a good
actor
point.
within. So everybody within the line of sight of 0 to 1 gets 1 damage. And then the survivor earns the AP from the additional. So you get the 5 AP from killing the Cactus Queen. Now, let's say it kills 3 walkers. You get the 3 AP from the walkers. You wouldn't get AP, obviously, if one of your friends was within one of the other survivors is in, one zone.
Right.
But
Like thematically, what is going on here? Is she just like
she explodes.
All of her
and
thorns.
then those,
her thorns.
yeah, her thorns. Her thorns go everywhere when she.
Right,
It says
okay.
boom right under it.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. For some reason, I was glossing over the when she's eliminated thing. It's not like
You thought she was
Every-
just doing that?
just every round she's just killing everything in sight.
That would be brutal.
That would be something. That would be completely game breaking. Yeah, that's crazy. All right.
Next up, we got Death Grasp. So any survivor standing within a range 0 to 1 and line of sight of Death Grasp at the end of the zombie phase is dragged into his zone.
Ooh,
So he's
Okay.
going to be snatching your survivors up.
that's cool.
Now, the Gore Geyser, whenever the Gore Geyser activated within line of sight of a zone with 1 or more survivors, it performs an attack aimed at the zone. And each survivor in the target zone is dealt 1 wound. So the Gore Geyser's like vomiting on them. Hence the geyser.
Mhm.
It is quite Gross.
Yes.
Very. Okay, so like rather than like having a ranged, like a giant arm like we've seen from other characters in like Black Plague, for example, reaching out and smacking people, he's just vomiting on everybody.
Just
Projectile vomiting,
vomiting.
yeah.
Projectile, yep.
Yeah. Well, I'll do it. That'll wound somebody.
Next up is the Little Trickster. So the Little Trickster, as long as this abomination's on the board, survivors cannot re-roll dice in any way, re-roll extra dice from skills or game effects, or get bounty weapons. So three inhibiting actions there.
It's a lot. And a lot to remember.
Yeah. Individually, they're all kind of niche, but yeah, all together.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
a priority
when they-
kill, right? Like pretty
Mhm.
yeah.
Next up is the Plymouth Hound. So the Plymouth Hound can only be eliminated by the survivor with the lowest amount of AP. And if several survivors share the lowest amount, all of them can kill the abomination. So
I
obviously that
absolutely
can
love
cause
this
some-
one.
Yeah,
This
can cause
this,
a lot of
this,
problems.
this is one of the more unique abominations I've seen so far on this list. I don't think we've seen a guy like this before. I think that's really fun.
I don't think I've encountered this guy, but yeah, just hearing that is very interesting.
Yeah, it's cool. Makes you think about and play things differently.
Next up, the disgusting looking melting pot. So the melting pot, each time the melting pot activates and before it moves, place 2 walkers in its zone. And if there are not enough walkers, ignore this special rule.
I think this is up there as one of my favorite miniatures for an abomination too. It's very visceral. It gets the point across very well, the miniature for this guy, this weird when day breaks monster.
And I have a suggestion for the melting pot, which we'll return to here in a little bit. So
Nice.
So remember his little thing there. Next up is it's Puss Bag, right?
Puss bag.
So, yep, good old Puss Bag. So Puss Bag creates a boom in its zone upon elimination. All actors in its zone are eliminated as well. The survivor who eliminated Puss Bag earns the AP. So kind of like Cactus Queen, but a little more devastating. It's not 1 wound. It's taking everybody with it.
It's kind of funny because you're more often going to be killing him with the dynamite boom, you know, and you're already doing that.
I like this because it takes away Carl. Potentially, it takes away Thomas. Potentially, it's taking away that +1 damage at blue with melee or a weapon in your own zone.
Yeah.
So basically, you want to use a ranged attack or dynamite for him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we got the Rotten Claw. So when the Rotten Claw activates, if the Rotten Claw is within line of sight of a zone with 1 or more survivors at range 0 to 1, it attacks. Deal 1 wound to all survivors in that zone.
Yeah, this is like our guy from Black Plague that likes to reach out and pick at you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then below that is Swamp Tongue. So Swamp Tongue, who looks very froggish, any survivor standing at a range 0 to 1 within line of sight of the Swamp Tongue must spend an additional action to leave the zone.
I like it.
And then, yep. And then this next one is a great one too. We got the Great Trickster. So the Great Trickster, I think, is a little bit of a precursor to the Divine Beasts mechanic.
Yeah, it
a
definitely
little
feels
bit.
like it.
Yep. So this mini has 3 different heads. It has a raven, a coyote, and a rabbit that you swap out. So this abomination deals 3 wounds. You have to eliminate all 3 avatars in this order. So first the raven, which swaps survivors. When it's the coyote, no AP can be taken from zombies. And in the rabbit form, he counts as a spawn zone.
Cool.
I have
This
not
is
run
also
into.
interesting
Oh, go ahead.
because this is like a very, I guess, outside of the faithful. This is like a very low magic setting. So he seems like a little out of place, but that just kind of makes his flavor like better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love the spiritual aspect here, and I love the idea of this guy. I have not run into him yet, unfortunately. I can't wait.
No, he hasn't spawned for me either.
Yep. And then the very last one in the Dead West box is the Wendigo, the big old Wendigo. And as long as the Wendigo's on the board, survivors roll one less die for their combat action, with an obvious minimum of 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm so sad. Mine broke earlier.
It is.
My horn?
Yeah, horn.
The horn?
Yep.
My horn broke too. My son glued it for me, and it's been
Nice.
fine.
I gotta glue it. Yeah, I dropped it like 2 inches from the table, and it just popped right off.
It's very spindly. I can see that happening.
Yeah.
It's not the most structurally stable miniature.
Yeah, I was hoping that.
It's always heartbreaking when you break a mini.
Oh yeah, I was hoping that like maybe the peg had come out, like it came loose, but no, it's definitely a break where the peg would go in. Very sad. But man, is that miniature incredible?
It is
Speaking
awesome.
of which, what's your favorite Abomination, whether it's ability or miniature or both?
For me, from the Dead West box, I love Death Grasp, the look of him at least. I think he's the coolest looking miniature. I just love that long arm and that claw grabbing you. That's just but mechanics wise, I don't know. There's some good ones.
So
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mentioned. You go ahead.
I was just going to say, originally when I started playing against some of these abominations, I thought that the crocodile was the most dangerous.
Oh yeah.
You know, he can live on a 4+, or you have to spend 2 dynamites to kill him, and he also does 2 wounds, which in this game is absolutely devastating, as most of your characters only have 2 wounds. And he can obviously activate so many times because of the amount of abomination cards in the deck. But after playing with the running wild characters, I think it's the Bison. The Bison might be hands down the most deadly, because if he enters your zone, he does 1 wound to every survivor in the game, and your horse counts as a companion, which is a survivor. And so if you lose a companion or a survivor, you lose the game. So he just walks into your zone if you're not on your horse, kills your horse, and you lose the game. So the Bison is absolutely the most dangerous of all the abominations, in my opinion, just because you can't always guarantee you're going to stay away from him. And if you think of your companions, whether it's a horse or somebody that you had to rescue for the mission, you can't absorb his wound for the companion. He does 1 to every survivor in the zone. So you auto lose the game.
You know, now that you say that, James, it makes me think of the Nightmare Horse. So I hadn't played with this one until just doing one of these campaigns. And this one, the Nightmare Horse, all zombies dealing, while he's on the board, all zombies dealing 1 wound deal 2 wounds instead. Yep. And given that all the survivors, unless you're a brawler, only can take 2 wounds while he's on the board, anybody takes a wound from just even a normal zombie, you're dead.
Right. But in that case, if you're at least you're in the zone with somebody else, you can split up the wounds.
Yeah, it's true.
Whereas Bison, you can't.
Yeah.
Schmedley, do you have any favorites?
So I mentioned model wise, it's got to go to the Wendigo. Mechanically, it's harder to say, because I think, as cool as his power is, it's a little underwhelming compared to just how imposing he is. I do really like the multi-stage boss fight we got. I haven't gotten to actually play it yet, but I think trickster. that's probably the one that stands out the most. The Great Trickster.
Yeah, I think. I mean, just like, man, I'm always asking for more enemy variety, and they really brought it in terms of the abominations here. Like, there are so many, and they do such cool things, and they're so special because, well, I was gonna say none of us have like played all of them, but I'm sure James has like 6 times over, right?
No, I haven't. Nope.
You actually haven't
Not on
played
the-
all of them?
Nope.
That's
No,
awesome.
I don't have them all
hard.
painted.
Yeah, well, it's hard in this game. Is there's no Abomination Fest. You only get one on the board at the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even when you have one on the board, it's running you down with the extra activations. It's not even
Yeah.
multiple
Yeah.
abominations. So
Always extra activation. So yeah, that makes them more special. And I really like that
Yeah.
about this. And looks something to look forward to. As far as the miniatures go, yeah, I love bigger and better. Bigger is better for me. So it's it's between it's Wendigo. With a little bit, Abominate has a little bit. It's just a little bit underneath that because just so big and so chunky that Abominate. Abominate. There you go.
yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. And then and you showed the Wendigo earlier too. Yeah, those two are really great. As far as mechanics ways go, yeah, I love the idea of the great trickster, and I'm looking forward to fighting him one day with the multi boss level shenanigans. It's gonna be great. Yeah, so we didn't go over all the rules for like all the other things and dead stock abominations and all the other things, but I don't think we have to. One thing I did.
Well, we could talk a little bit about the dead stock.
Oh, yeah,
I
let's do
mean,
it.
at least talk about what they are.
Okay, let's do it.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the only other version of zombies that we got in this game outside of the daily walkers.
Mm-hmm.
So I know they're ho hum for us. I mean, they're just berserkers, but
You're talking about long dead walkers.
yeah, the long dead walkers.
Yeah, that I did
Yeah.
actually. Here, let me bring that up.
Big fan, personally. I love Berserkers. Probably my favorite horde zombie mechanic. So anytime we have more Berserkers, it's a win for me.
So long dead walkers, they deal 1 damage. They get eliminated by 1 damage. The adrenaline provided 1 point. So they're walkers, but they have the
It's
same
a little
targeting.
unfortunate that they're just walkers, but yeah.
Same targeting priority as order as walkers and are affected by walkers' extra activations. That's key. Long dead walkers
is
are
key.
immune to ranged actions. They are still affected by game effects, eliminating all zombies in the zone like dynamite. So as Schmedley just mentioned, they're berserkers, right? And for those that don't know, like that just means that you have to eliminate them with melee or something like dynamite that just kills everything.
Yeah, do you
Yeah,
guys
and-
mix? Do you guys mix all the cards? Like this is one like I find because the long deads you only get if you have 1 box is 15 miniatures and some of them on the red or even in the orange it's a lot. So if you mix those, if you put all was it 9 cards, if you put them all in there, you're getting a ton of extra activations on those.
Well, and that's their only danger. I mean, honestly, they're not dangerous unless you do that. Their danger is not because you have to kill them in melee. Their danger is you're going to run out of their miniatures and give abominations extra activations. That's their real danger. So if you don't play with all their cards, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. You're playing on easy mode. If you play with all their cards and you play with them, you are going to run out of their miniatures unless you bought, multiple boxes, which is cool. But if you didn't, that's their real danger because you're always going to have a bruiser or brawler, on your team. They're going to be able to deal with them by the time they're in numbers to threaten you. So it's giving the abominations the extra activations that is their true danger.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, it's abominations. I was gonna ask if they get extra activations or if all walkers do. I forgot how it worked in this one.
Yeah. Long dead walkers they're such a great addition to this game for a lot of reasons that James just mentioned too. It's funny, like they're deceptive because in the early game you're like, oh, no big deal, like these guys are whatever, I can just take them out. And I kind of have to wait for them to get to me, or I can extend myself to go out and get them to make sure to take them out. But I don't really have to worry about it. Like they'll get to me when they get to me, and then I'll melee brawler, I'll take them out. But then late game, orange and red, they become so much more of a nuisance to like, because they're mixing up with many more brutes and runners and or abomination. And in addition to what James is just saying of, that they're just another form of extra activation that the abominations will be getting along with like the runners and the brutes, 8 runners, 8 runners, 8 brutes, 8 brutes, because yeah, it's insane. I love what they add to the game. And then they, like, it's a little bit of a shame that all your cool, all your cool Wild West shooting, rooting and tooting and shooting and blasting, it gets diminished quite a bit when you have long dead walkers coming in and wrecking your plans so much, showing up so much, because it's like, I got like all these gunslingers with all of their pistols that they can fan all day with, but I can't because they're long dead walkers over there gumming up the board. So yeah, it produces like really interesting challenges, and that like, yeah, just the nuance of like, how much am I going to extend myself to go get those guys? How much do I have to wait for them? Yeah, I really like what they add to the game. I could though see like maybe for first time players, I might not want to add them because they're just going to want to roll dice and just fan and shoot things a lot. And you can't really do that with the long dead walkers so much. And it makes it more challenging.
Yeah, I normally don't show for first time players in general. I normally take out extra zombie types because I mean the core 3 are enough generally for introductions.
They're also a little bit diminished too when you can consider that you still have to kill brutes before walkers, and abominations as well in shooting. So if you've got a Schofield or if you got a Winchester, you're still shooting in and being able to do damage if they're mobbed up with other types, and they're on the same targeting priority as normal walkers. So it's usually in game. It doesn't end up being that big of a deal.
Yeah. But you know what too? They do, again, gum up your plants because they're like a wall that protects runners at range.
Sure.
And that's a pain. That's a good fun pain to deal with, right? Like you've got 8 long dead walkers and 8 runners, and you cannot touch those runners until, letting them run off in the next round. Because
or you're feeling extremely powerful because you got the Gatling gun and it's useless.
Yeah.
Against the long deads.
There you go. Yep. It's like, I got my we're fully on.
Got this awesome Gatling, yet you can't even use it.
Yep. Anything else to be said or explored about any zombie types in the game?
I don't think I mentioned it. I like that Abominate and Crocosaur are big enough that they don't even have bases. They can just stand up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're big.
That's pretty cool.
Like
yeah.
That. Oh, and the Crocosaur, you have to have. Did we say this already? That you have to have you have to throw down 2 dynamites to take it out.
Well, you don't have to. You just have to guarantee its death.
That's right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it gets a save roll. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 4+ save.
Yeah. When I ran into him one time, I had 2 dynamites. I was like, I'm just doing that.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's right.
Are we going to cover the daily duel guys?
Yeah, let's cover
we can
the
look at them.
duel.
Yeah, might as well.
So here's my suggestion. They don't come with spawn cards. So, and this wasn't my suggestion. I saw somebody recommend this in a forum I read. So you have the melting pot. The melting pot, after every activation, spawns 2 walkers. So what I do, there's 11 unique daily duel walkers that you can, if you roll 2 dice, you can pick, because there's 11 in order. So if it's 2, you just pick this first one, like the Reverend here. And it's a good way to get these guys into the game under special circumstances if you've got the melting pot on the board. So
I like it.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of unique as a good way. Yeah. But so the Reverend here, he's cool. He doesn't die. So when you kill him, he gets respawns at the closest corpse pile, whether it's active or inactive. It doesn't matter. He just always respawns. And then next up's the Gunslinger, who retains the ability to fire his gun accurately. His attacks have a range of 0 to 2.
Nice.
The teacher's funny. I love this. As seeing a zombified teacher is unnerving, making survivors blank out and forget all that they've learned. Survivors with line of sight to the teacher are unable to use any skills they've unlocked by gaining AP.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Really funny.
Yep. The lumberjack, when selecting his destination zone and moving towards it, the lumberjack ignores any walls in his path. He just blasts through them.
Wow.
So, if you don't mind, just a quick pause. So basically, you got a walker that's doing the same thing the Killer Clown does, which is one of the more annoying abominations in second edition.
Mhm.
So that would definitely make her high on my list of having to take out.
Yeah, and then Minotaur, right, from Black Plague, busts through walls. He leaves an opening at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about taking away your skills though. Like
teacher,
say as the teacher, you're like you've just gotten to that orange skill, so you can plus one damage when you fire your rifle, right? I just got it so I can take out Abomination. She pops up. Oh well, crap! Now I can't do that.
There is something else. Isn't there something in second edition?
The Killer Clown.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I was on the other guy. Yeah, I never played with Killer Clown. I didn't know that they both did that. That's crazy.
And James is right. It's annoying when the Killer Clown's on the board. It's like, oh, I can't use that skill.
Yeah.
But this is lose all skills learned, not just the Killer Clown's your last skill. So it's even worse.
Right.
Yep. Next up is the miner. So the miner's bag is loaded with high explosive dynamite. So when eliminated with a ranged attack, he explodes, killing all actors in the zone.
Nice.
And you place a boom token there. But if you eliminate him with a melee attack, the survivor who does this gets a dynamite card.
That's great.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
that's fun.
I will say these seem more well thought out than maybe the daily spawns in second edition.
I agree. I'm more excited about these for some reason. Yeah.
If only they thought about spawn cards.
No, I know. Next up, Station Master. He spawns on the backmost tile of the train, if possible, and while there is a train, and he has 3 actions per activation. Next up is the snake oil salesman. So beware the swindler. During his activation, he'll randomly discard 1 equipment out of a survivor's backpack instead of attacking.
Oh.
And next up is the stagecoach driver. He always spawns in the wagon zone if it's there in the game. And when he moves, the wagon moves with him. If he enters a zone containing a survivor, he runs them over, dealing 1 wound to each of them. So there's a way of getting that wagon into the game.
Love it.
Yeah. Next up is the soul.
I don't remember reading through these. It seems like they have a much more impactful effects than the ones in second edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem really well thought out. So this next one's the soldier. He's every bit as lethal with his rifle as any gunslinger and no less fearsome in close combat. When activated, the soldier can attack a survivor at a range 0 to 2. And when attacking in his own zone, he deals 2 wounds.
Wow.
So he's got ranged and melee. This guy, the mariachi, the sounds of the mariachi are very distracting, making it hard to attack. Any attack action directed at his zone requires +1 accuracy value to hit.
Oh my gosh. He's a zombie team bard.
Yeah.
That's great. Love it.
Yep. And the last one is the horsehead walker. With his newfound speediness and unsteady gait, the horsehead walker can run like a wind, and he can make an extra activation per move.
Yeah, I don't get that one, but okay.
He's basically, it's kind of like a runner.
Well, it does say here.
Yeah, I just don't understand.
Call him a runner.
It's like, it's weird.
He's just a worse runner.
Like the other one seemed pretty grounded thematically. This one's really, like.
That's okay. I'm not complaining. It's just weird.
I really like these. I thought they were very well thought out. But then it really kind of leans on why did they put some spawn mechanics so you could, not have to homebrew it.
Yeah, fun and thought out. But I still think like it exacerbates the issue of there being like there's already too many walkers, like too many walker miniatures. Like you're always going to run out of runners and brutes and long dead walkers now. But you're never going to run out of walkers, and even more so with like all of these extra walkers. And as fun as good as these are, even if there were cards, like I'm still, I'm wondering like, would it be too fiddly, too hard to remember who's doing what and to accomplish all those if you get a lot of them on the board in any given game? Mm-hmm. I'm still worried about that, so I might not ever use them.
Yeah, they're very interesting. Some of them have effects that are worthy of like abominations, but I've always thought that too. I've seen the homebrew editions for them, and it's always like you roll to see which one comes on the board, or you just pick one and put it on the board, and it's like there's not really a good way to choose which one when for something that's as in the grand scheme as insignificant as a walker. It seems like a lot of effort to add a walker with some extra steps. As cool as the effects are, these ones do make it feel a little more worthwhile than the ones in second edition, like I mentioned. Second edition did also have runners and brutes, though, to go for towards your issue with them.
So they
if you could make them all on the targeting priority of runners, you might actually keep them on the board longer than a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, because in theory, if they were within another group of walkers or brutes, they could be shielded. But again, I don't know.
Yeah,
that could be a cool, they're not runners, but they're on that targeting priority. It's one way to handle it.
I counted hopefully right. There's 11 of these special daily duel walkers.
And for whatever reason, they made two. They made 2 of the cavalry guy and 2 of the mariachi.
Oh, they did? Of the miniatures?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. There's 4 of them. There's 2 gunslingers, 2 mariachi. Yeah. There's 4 of them, and that are 2 of. So I think I read during the campaign, it was like a bonus, like, hey, we're now going to include 2 of these, but.
I mean, that's like an interesting way. If your goal is to just give more variety to your, especially I imagine if they're painted, the mix of them looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you just use them as walkers.
All right, let's move over to other expansion content. We're planning to do a Gears and Guns dedicated episode, as we will with all big box expansions in the future for all the different flavors of Zombicide. So
eventually a full campaign takes some of us longer than others.
Yeah, that'll be even longer. But does anybody have any experience at all? Just like some kind of, I don't know, high level thoughts to share?
So we're right now directly in the middle of a campaign. Cool. We're five games in, and I don't want to give away any spoilers. The only thing I really want to talk about it is it's another thread to the next game that came out. We always talk about, when we talked about Army of the Dead, we said, well, they're taking the break mechanics from second edition, and that wasn't quite right. They're actually taking the steam mechanics from this edition. And the subtle difference is in the break mechanics for second edition, you actually lose the weapon. Whereas in this game, what you do is when you go full steam and you run a weapon out of steam, you turn the weapon upside down and it stays equipped, and then you can refill it, which is essentially the same thing that happens in Army of the Dead. When you run out of bullets, you don't lose the weapon. It's still equipped. You then have to find bullets to be able to use it. So that's just another one of those little, things that connects this game to the next
link.
One.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
Just another way that Army of the Dead was greatest hits of all Zombicides.
Yeah.
And that's and I already mentioned the tough thing. Outside of that, I really don't want to talk much more about it.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, campaigns are kind of hard because so much of it is those story-driven achievements and stuff. That's actually something, like I said, we're playing through Rio, and it's using a lot more of those campaign mechanics that were in the rules when we played Washington ZC, but weren't really utilized, like the achievements and stuff. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. I thought we were saying before that the engineers didn't come in the core box.
They come in the gear.
They come in the Gears and Guns box.
Gears and Guns box expansion, but not in the the. Yep.
Yeah, that's what they meant.
That's what I meant. So, okay, I thought you were saying before that they only came in like the Steampunk Extras box, but no, they do come in the Gears and Guns.
No.
Okay.
There's more in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James, do you use the Steam dice?
I do. because there's only
got
a
to.
symbol on one
Yeah,
side.
there's only one. The 6 is normal. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the steam is like the brake mechanic. Is like the brake symbol.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Remind me what the engineer ability is.
So when you go full steam, you get +1 die, and then I think you can use any other steam weapon, throw it away as a steam bottle to refill your weapon.
That's kind of cool. Plus it's +1 die, +1 steam die.
No, it's +1 die.
Okay.
And so basically you have, you're playing Rio. Have you played
Yeah.
Washington ZC or
We did ZC. We haven't done Hendrix. Rio's
okay,
just
so
the second one.
ZC and Hendrix, as you know, has spare parts, and then it also has a skill called what is it called? Crap. Where basically you can throw away a weapon to fix one of your weapons as spare parts, whereas Rio has no spare parts.
Yeah.
And doesn't have that skill.
So yeah, all right, that's pretty cool. I remembered it was something about going full steam. I just didn't remember. And there's like areas around the map where you can refill, or is that?
Yeah. So that's your nozzles.
The nozzles.
Where
that's what I'm thinking of.
where you want to go fill, as long as they're not broke. So watch out for that steam abomination.
Yeah. And they've got like Steam tokens and Switch tokens and a cool looking Steam gauge. Yeah, I'm excited to play this one day.
You know what? I guess it's a good time too to mention thank you, Ryan, for providing me with a way to keep all those inventions on our dashboard, because inventions do not take up equipment slots. So you can have an unlimited amount of inventions, right? So thanks to Ryan, he made a nifty little thing where you can attach to your dashboard and then add those invention cards.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Welcome. And thank you for chipping in on that. All right. That's Gears and Guns, at least just our light dusting of it for now. Other expansion stuff. I think the other, like, that's not quite a big box. It's a mid box. Maybe would be Running Wild. I have some thoughts.
Okay.
Are you ready? I hate it. I hate it.
Oh no.
I absolutely hate it. And it's probably because I don't get it and I'm bad at it. So I might have just picked the wrong mission, and like I can come back to this in the mission, or maybe not, but like I probably picked the wrong mission to put them in. But I was like, wow, okay, so you're supposed to start a mission with the mounted version of these guys. Therefore you can't go into buildings and gear up until you drop your horses off. And you got to do that. Correct. And then so you lose all of your blue abilities.
Correct.
So it makes the game way harder than it should be. You have to get in, you have to do that. You leave your horses outside and they're vulnerable because if any of them take a single wound, then you lose the game. Right. I just like, this is stupid. Like, I'm just going to go back to the regular game because this is, just way too hard for kind of no reason, in my opinion, in my like emotional like response to this thing. I was like, I don't got to put up with this. I'm middle class. I can use all my other dozens of miniatures and not deal with this nonsense. And then
now James has a thing for robots and Invader. James, how do you feel about the horses? You're not leaving a horse behind, are you?
No, obviously. Otherwise, you lose the game. Like, I mean, the robot thing was just because of my own personal thing, but the game is what's telling me I can't leave a horse behind. So. No, I love the box set. I absolutely 100% wish they had attached missions to it. I really wish that they had made some missions that were geared around it. And yes, online there is a series of missions that does have that, but it's way less than you think it is. Because you don't even start with your horses. You got to go find horses, and you never end up with this series of campaign with like 6 horse riders. I think the max you get is 2. Yeah. So it's kind of a little bit of a letdown in that regard. However, the miniatures, in my opinion, more than make up for it. And there's the added difficulty level. yes, you have to protect your horses. You cannot just send everybody into search. Some people are going to have to stay out and deal with zombies as they're coming down the street. You're just not going to be able to rush in with your, townsfolk and your brawlers and get your, 9 search actions a turn, be able to instantly within 2 turns trade around all your equipment, fade retro people, and, turn off all the corpse piles before you move on. You are actually going to have to do some fighting. And that's where the horses come into play. Getting that +1 die while you're on horseback, getting 2 zones per move, and getting slippery makes them very powerful. They are very powerful. Yes, they are very vulnerable, but if you play it right, they are very powerful.
Yeah, I think it's where I went wrong. And I've got the book open here too. Like there's this big list of all the changes for rider mode. I was certainly rushing and not, because again, I tend to like in between things at home. I'm like, it's always set up over there. And so like I kind of play a round or 2 here and there. So I was forgetting all those other benefits you just said. +1 die melee, +1 zone per move, slippery, just straight up whenever you're in rider mode. So yeah, I was forgetting all of those benefits and not, like it's just a lot of change. Like I'm always talking about how I love when the game makes you play differently. And this certainly does that, right? It makes you think and play differently, but it's like all at once, and it's all in the all in the most vulnerable state at the very beginning of the game when you don't have any good gear yet. It's just too much for me, I think. And so I should give it another shot. After this conversation, I think it's helping me realize that.
I agree with James though. The big shortcoming here is the lack of missions for him. I think it's a lot of potential, but they got the web missions. They can still correct this if they're listening. Hey, make some web missions. We want some with the horses.
What a missed opportunity. Like
cool.
Every expansion should come with a mission, I've mentioned Shadows of Brimstone before, and I've been like more into that lately. And like I think all of their expansion content always comes with a mission, at least, if not a few. And like, there's no reason that this little book can't have a single mission in it, at least.
Running Wild was, I'm forgetting, we had this whole conversation earlier. It was retail, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was retail, but the Sister Temperance was the Kickstarter exclusive.
Then they could give us more missions. They like to shy away from Kickstarter exclusive content and missions, which is understandable. In web missions.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to remember my Sister Temperance rule thing. Oh, that's right. I wrote it down.
Just get shove at blue.
Shove is incredible. I love that. Shove
is pretty good. Shove's great.
Yeah, that's right. She's a shove blue on her donkey.
And she's faithful.
Yes. So she to me was like
everything you want.
Yeah, she was to me the go-to, like sit outside of the building and wait. Right. Oh yeah, so that's
she has a bottle of liquor on her belt too. That's kind of cool when you paint her.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah,
oh my God, this faithful person's got this little thing of liquor on the side there.
So what do you do when you want, like when you dismount? What do you do? Because you don't have a donkey miniature or cardboardy.
You have to use one of the other horses from one of the other characters that you didn't use.
It doesn't. Does it say that anywhere, or is that you just like that's got to be the way?
Well, that's the only option.
This is the way.
Yeah.
And you're only playing with 6 survivors, so she's the 7th survivor, so that means you're not playing with one of the others.
That's true.
So that's her dismounted horse. It sucks.
Yeah.
I know.
And you know what too I like about the shove is that it doesn't trivialize enemies in the same way it does in like the other games, like an invader. An invader's like shove, no big deal, but in this one, like there are so many more times that the abomination can go and often goes during the enemy phase. So you don't just trivialize abominations like you can in other versions of Zombicide. Like you, it's like you shove and you probably should Vade Retro that thing or move.
It does combo with Vade Retro very well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shove is an action too, right? So that is like
no, it's not. It's not an action. No,
okay.
but Vade Retro is. So you can shove it in Vade Retro and then But it is exactly how it works in Invader, right?
He
Does
just means
Invader-
yeah, abominations do also move a lot in Invader.
But like I'm playing Abomination Fest in Invader or whatever they called in that one. So like I can shove it an abomination and I'm cool. I'm fine.
I don't
no worries. Right?
Abominations move and you spawn one in Invader.
Right.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. You guys got to stop thinking of this as second edition. You got to think of this is Invader. This is a White Death. Second edition is the outlier for the rules here.
So maybe I think
Yeah,
this
is
I mean,
like
edition.
the other
second edition
ones.
really took a break from like the classes. Invader kind of started with that, and abominations work a little different.
Interesting.
There is more of a through line. I had never thought about that before.
So in second edition, you don't when you get an abomination, you don't activate the ones that are already on the board too.
It does.
Oh, you do. Okay.
But there's only 4 abomination cards, not 11 or 12. There's 11 in Wild West and 12 in Invader. So you're
Gotcha.
not going to get that many of them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know what I was doing
only
wrong.
4.
Or maybe I just
Maybe
forget.
I added more in second edition.
There's only 4 in the core set. You can add more.
Yeah, does the reboot box have more? I feel like there's more.
Yeah.
than 4.
It does.
Oh,
No,
okay.
yeah,
The
I
reboot
must
box absolutely does.
have used those then.
And then you get the Urban Legend Abomination pack. That's 4 more as well for second. edition.
No. I'm talking about the spawn cards, Jason, not the actual
Oh.
abomination cards.
Yeah, that's what I
actually
meant.
spawns abominations.
You're right.
Cool. Let's see. What else? Do we get through all the expansion content?
I don't think we
Kickstarter
need to talk
exclusive?
about extra
All of it.
tiles or.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we've said pretty much everything we can say about tiles.
Oh, we're
extra
not going to
players.
gloss over those lone horses, are we?
I think I already said what I need to say about that.
Yeah.
They're good miniatures.
It's still very odd. I'm not over the choices for red versus black on the red and black dice. If they am I missing a pattern?
Yes, they make bad dice. That's the pattern.
Well, no, Jason said it. It's they're mirroring
The card,
actual
but that's
cards.
the cards.
Yeah,
Yeah, clubs, spades, hearts.
spades and clubs are always black.
Yeah, but I'm saying why is it 3, 4, and 6 versus 1, 2, and 5?
Because they're odds and evens. Just
No.
kidding. Just kidding.
See, that would make sense if you
That hurt my
swap out
brain.
out.
Why? The dice, a 4 has, 3 on the opposite side.
No, because 5 and 2 are both black.
So I think he's saying the 1 is the heart and the.
Well, no, there's 4 numerals, and each of them is one of the suits. That part's
This
fine.
is why you use numbers. That's why you don't use symbols.
2, 3, 4, and 5 are the 4 suits, but we could have 2 and 4 be red along with the 6, and 1 and 3 and 5
I see
be
what
black.
you're saying.
But it's
Okay.
not. They didn't do that.
No.
It's just. It seems very arbitrary which numbers are black.
If you made a line around once, that doesn't make sense. But like, okay, if you took your
No.
hands and made a cube out of it, one hand is black symbols and the other hand is red symbols. Does that make sense?
If you go around the axis that has pips, that doesn't have the 1 or the 6, it does go black, red, black, red. So they could be that. I don't know. I think we could talk about this for another 30 minutes.
We probably
Okay,
could.
so
Be
what
really
comes
good
up-
content.
We want to move on to Iron Maiden stuff.
We probably should.
Ooh.
Yeah. So like, what other expansion content are there outside of this Kickstarter that are available for Undead or Alive?
So you mentioned comic book extras and Iron Maiden, and I think that might be the only 2. We don't get a whole lot of Undead or Alive content.
I don't even entirely know if that's even accurate. Is it?
They don't
It's-
have
it's-
comic book extras for this.
Yeah, there's no comic book extras.
Okay.
No comic book extras?
I thought
No.
that there might
Oh.
be. Oh well. Sorry, Western.
Yeah, I was misremembering which ones had comic books. Yeah.
Just Iron Maiden.
Okay, so which ones? Does anybody have that by chance?
So
All 3
Yeah.
boxes.
Bounty Hunter. Is Cyborg any of this for some reason?
So you got Trooper Eddie, Undead Eddie, Asylum Eddie, Bounty Hunter Eddie, and Shaman Eddie
Okay.
There you go.
are all survivors. And then the same again as Abominations. And then you get to add in Fear Eddie and Wicker Eddie.
Oh, really? The ones that are abominations aren't all survivors, or vice versa?
Correct. 2 of them are just abominations.
Interesting.
And on top of that, you do get the beast head bounty weapon.
Oh,
I
cool.
think that's in all the settings. The epic weapon.
And then you also get additionally a duckfoot pistol and a sheriff's badge bounty weapon.
Oh,
I forgot about the duckfoot pistol. It's not good.
Is the Duckfoot
It's
pistol
not-
part
it's
of like
not-
isn't that part of like a CMON
It's a-
promo pack?
It's
I
a
think it was-
punishment, is what it is.
It is. I hate when I draw it. My wife loves it,
Terrible.
and that's the only reason why I keep it in the deck. Otherwise, I'd throw that card away.
Beast said
Um,
also not very good, but
Yeah, the duckfoot pistol was part of a Kickstarter for Dice Tower, right?
it was something like that.
Yeah.
I think that
sounds
was their
right.
makeup since for not having any R cards in there. They put that one in there.
Yeah, exactly. And then the sheriff badge bounty weapon, I think, was a convention thing.
Yeah, I don't have
Hmm.
that.
I don't have it, but I'm pretty sure
neither.
it's a.
Yeah, I don't think I have that one. Got to get on eBay and find a $150 version of it and get it real
Gotta
quick.
finish your collection. Yeah.
Tiny piece
Or
for a
we'll
tiny
just print one out.
card. I know.
Ah, that's not authentic.
So do you like to have all the Iron Maiden stuff in your Undead or Alive games, James?
I've never played with one. I don't have them painted yet.
Jason?
I haven't added them in yet. I've done them with Invader and with second edition. I have not included them in my second edition yet.
Yeah, I forgot
or
about
my
them completely.
Undead or Alive.
Yeah, they haven't shown up, so I might not have them shuffled. I wouldn't have a reason for that other than forgetting. So I might have just forgotten.
Let's see. Beast Head Bounty Weapon. I'm looking at it on Board Game Geek right now. Whenever you roll one or more 6, add 1 marker to this card, spend 1 action, and discard 3 markers to eliminate all walkers and runners in your zone. If this card is traded, keep the markers on it.
It's a chargeable Molotov, yeah.
Neat. Huh. That's
And if
cool.
anybody's wondering why the duck-footed pistol's so bad, it's if this tech eliminates any zombies, deal 1 damage to 1 actor in each zone adjacent to the attacker.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
horrible.
Why? Why is that a
It's
thing?
just- it's like shoot your friends.
It's just- That's cool. All
Yeah,
right.
the trooper's a pretty brutal abomination.
All non-abomination zombies in his zone need 1 extra damage to be eliminated. The survivor who eliminates Trooper Eddie takes 1 wound. Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Wicker Eddie is one of the ones that sits at a spawn point, right?
His attacks deal 2 wounds. He can only be eliminated by using 2 dynamites on the same round. No, it doesn't say anything about him sitting still.
Oh, okay.
You'd think he'd work the same, right?
I might be. Oh, okay. So it is Wicker Eddie I'm thinking of then. He just doesn't do it in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, because he did that in 2nd edition, right?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was him and who was the other one?
Oh, no, it was the Egyptian one, wasn't it?
There were 2 of them.
Sphinx. The Sphinx.
Yeah.
So the Shaman Eddie is also equally potentially game wrecking. If you read his rule, it's pretty rough.
At the start of the zombie phase, remove all zombies in his zone, not abominations. His activation gains a number of activations equal to the number of zombies removed. Oh my god.
Yeah, so at orange, you've got 8 brutes in your zone. Oh, I eliminate all brutes. Yay! Oh, I get 8 actions. Boo.
Oh wow. End game.
Yeah. Yep, pretty much.
Neat.
Yeah, I'm not a big Iron Maiden fan, but you know
Me neither.
the value you get out of this set and the amount of effort and Easter eggs and stuff they put in here. Even if you're not an Iron Maiden fan, it's a great set to have. Whether you're enhancing your Undead or Alive 2nd
Mhm.
edition, or hell, even adding to this, you can mix it in a little bit with Death May Die Cthulhu.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome set.
And Massive Darkness.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Jason. You got Black Plague, Invader, Massive Darkness, 2nd edition, Undead or Alive. They touch everything.
Rising
Ankh,
Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
It's great.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, and the survivors are kind of fun too because for the most part they all start with a blue skill that's unique to them. and so it's on the back of their card. So they all kind of have their own thing that's going on, which I think adds character, to it.
Like,
gives you a reason to have them.
It's all like I think they're all named after songs from the albums that these Eddies are in.
Yep.
I only know some of the references though. Yeah.
Somehow, to me, thematically, because I'm big on like theme and not too much theme mashing. Somehow Eddie works for me in Undead or Alive more than others.
He's good in Invader.
I think Invader is probably where he's the most out of place, but they only have a handful of him in Invader, so it works out.
Yeah, like one of them is the cyborg Eddie.
Yeah,
right. That works for Invader, right?
Yep. Same with the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, and Bounty Hunter's good too. I mean, he's no more out of place than the Kabuki gang is.
There you go.
But I mean, honestly, overall, the overall thing is this is pretty much our only other content we get for this game.
Man,
is this. So if you're an Undead or Alive fan, you kind of have to drink this up like water because it's all you're gonna get.
Yeah. Hey survivors, Ryan here. This is part 1 of this episode and review. Stay tuned for next episode for the next part as we continue our deep dive and discussion. Thanks again for listening to the Zombicide Fans podcast. Zombicide Fans is an unofficial podcast and is not affiliated with or endorsed by Asmodee, Guillotine Games, or Fantasy Flight Games. Thank you from your hosts, Ryan Messick, Schmedley Mayers, and James Fisher. Thanks to our special guest, Jason Triganowan. Plus our sponsor, BoardGameGoodies.shop, where listeners can save 10% with coupon code PODCAST. You can check out the show on all major podcast listening platforms and on YouTube. You can reach us at zombicidefans@gmail.com. The podcast is hosted at zombicidefans.com. And you can join our communities at the Zombicide Discord and the All Zombicide Games Facebook group. All links will be in the show notes. Until next time, survive.